Hello guys, in this video we are going to be looking at the frequency distribution, histogram and frequency polygon, and how to construct each of them. The frequency distribution is the organization of raw data in a table form using classes and frequencies. We have two different types of frequency distribution. We have the categorical frequency distribution and the group frequency distribution. Categorical frequency distribution is used for data that can be placed in a specific category. When the range of data is large, data is grouped into classes that are more than one unit in length. In this case, we are talking about the group frequency distribution. Example-wise, if we are dealing with the blood groups of persons, this is how it can be classified. First of all, identify the various blood groups. Next, now we'll determine their tallies, then the frequencies. Then we can calculate the percentage frequency, which is frequency on n multiplied by 100. N here is the total frequency. Next example of a group frequency distribution. We have example, the table given. From this example, we can identify the first class, which is from 24 to 30, and that's the second. Then from the first class, 24 is a lower class limit, 30 is the upper class limit. Then under the class boundaries, 23.5, which is obtained by subtracting 0.5 from the lower class limit 24, is the lower class boundary. 30 is the upper class boundary obtained by adding 0.5 to 30, which is the upper class limit. We'll take this example. If you are given the first class as 31.5 to 37.6, to obtain our class width, we take the upper class limit minus the lower class limit. From there now we can determine now the other classes of our distribution. Now, when you have the other classes, you can now determine the number of families by counting all the values in between each class. For example, the first class we have 31.8, we have 35.5. So then we have 2 under that section. So we'll do same for the rest to obtain all these values. So from the table, we can obtain our model class, which is the class with the highest frequency. So according to the table, the class with the highest frequency is 43.9 to 50 because it has the highest frequency 5. But also obtain our class mark, that's the midpoint, which is obtained by we take the lower class limit and the upper class limit divided by 2. This value is important in calculating the mean and standard deviation. Okay, the histogram here are the great tools that are used to visually represent data for better understanding. A histogram is a graph with observed values on its horizontal scale and frequencies on its vertical scale. To construct a histogram, first a bar is constructed above each observed value, indicating the frequency of that value. A horizontal scale need not start at 0. The calibrations on the horizontal and vertical scales do not have to be the same. The vertical scale must start at 0 to accumulate large frequencies on the vertical scale. It may be necessary to break the scale. So let's look at this example. We have the number of children, that's observed values, and the number of families, that's our frequency. So we plot number of families against the number of children, indicating the bars respectively. So that's an example of a histogram. Then frequency polygon aligns graphs with scales and same as those of the histogram. As the horizontal scale indicates the observed values and the vertical scale indicates the frequency. In constructing a frequency polygon, you place a dot on the corresponding frequency above each of the observed values. Then we connect the dots with the straight line segments. When constructing frequency polygon, always put in two additional class marks, one at the lower end and one at the upper end of the horizontal scale. Since the frequency at these added class marks is zero, the endpoints of the frequency polygon will always be on the horizontal scale. So this is our example. First of all, identify all the dots, then we connect each. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.